Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is an extended weekend reading focusing on the energy surrounding us during the weekend of September 28th through the 30th, 2018. So last weekend of the month. For the reading, I'm using the Sun and Moon Tarot deck by Vanessa Decort, and I have pulled one additional oracle card from the Earth Magic deck by Stephen D. Farmer. As I like to remind you, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. The only way to get a truly personalized reading would be to order a private reading from me. If you are interested in doing that, all of the information can be found in the description box below this video. Just one other thing, I will be putting out the October general monthly readings. They are on the way, so be looking out for them as well. All right, so let's get started. In the past position, so the energies we head into the weekend, we have Major Arcana number 4. This is the Emperor, followed by the 8 of Cups. In this deck, it's called Indolence. And the outbound energy for the weekend is Major Arcana number 7. This is the Chariot. And the card from the bottom of the deck, the overall energy for the weekend, we have the Queen of Swords. And the oracle card to accompany the reading is Meadow. Vulnerability, and I'll talk more about this after we go through the main reading. So, 2 major arcanas out of 4, so significant, messages, very strong messages coming through with the major arcanas. It also tells me, that there could be a situation that is quite out of our hands, right, this weekend, because, when the major arcanas appear, it really speaks to divine intervention at play, divine orchestration of events. So beginning with the Emperor, this is usually, it's quite a rigid type of energy. And, we usually associate the Emperor with, it can be with like the military, police force, somebody who, who carries a sword. We also have the Queen of Swords over here, but somebody who carries a sword. Usually it's linked with the sign of Aries as well. It can also have to do with, legal things in general. So dealing with lawyers, dealing with the court system, dealing with authority figures. If you're not dealing with them, then it's being able to do things by the books, or playing by the rules, handling, those sort of structures that society puts into place and all of the laws that go along with it. It can also be a father figure. So this might be an older male that you are dealing with, or, just a father figure might be playing a significant role at the beginning or as you head into the weekend here. And this, usually this person, he's sort of the ultimate father, right, figure in the tarot, because if we think of the kings, we have the queens and kings. Kings rule over their kingdoms, right? And then the Emperor, he's higher than that. So he rules over his empire. So he is, he's very good at taking care of what's his, of taking care of his family, his home. He's a symbol of strength. He's also somebody who usually has good vision. He's not afraid to, if there's a new path to be taken or a new quest to go on, he's usually, ready to, and he's able to step up to whatever that challenge might be, right? Now, with him sitting, in the past position, for some of you, when you hear this video, you might have already dealt with this energy. You might have already dealt with this person. If it isn't a person, this could be you taking on the energy of the Emperor here, just feeling very up to challenges, right? Up to new challenges, even challenges that have to do with taking on more of a leadership role, leadership position, something to do with, inner transformation as well. This could be you really opening up. And it's interesting because we can see that it's like in the background we have the sun, and it's just peeking over the top of these mountains. So it's like the sun is almost coming to shine on, whatever this is that you're considering here. And it's interesting in this deck that it shows there are many different symbols, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see them all. But, we have on his sword, right, there's a phoenix on, or a double phoenix actually on his sword. So, and if we think about the phoenix having to do with, rising from the ashes and a transformation, you could have been dealing with a difficult situation, and then, now this is you kind of not rising from the ashes, but, you ready to transform and, embark upon. And the other two cards that you have here, kind of skipping over, they do speak of, leaving something behind and then charging forward. So this could just be, you made a decision possibly with the Emperor card. You decided to take matters into your own hands. If this was a situation dealing with the courts or dealing with a lawyer or a judge, and this could, obviously play out in many different ways for those of you listening. If this was, sort of divorce proceedings or family-related proceedings, child custody, any type of proceedings, with this being the Emperor, could be, the father, your father, or father of your children. This is you now coming out of that, right? And it's very positive. So positively stepping out of that situation. And then there's movement, right? Two cards that speak of significant movement. And beginning with the Eight of Cups, you can see that the man, he has turned his back on the cups here. They no longer, bring him joy. He's no longer, he doesn't want to be in this situation. At some point, he drank from the cups. They were fulfilling. They did bring him happiness. But now, they no longer offer him anything. And so he's deciding to sort of turn his back and move on. And in the tarot, the Eight of Cups is one of the transition cards. So it usually speaks of transitioning out of, one situation, possibly one that is, was not, that happy or wasn't that fulfilling for you, and then moving out of that. And even though there's always, a slight, not a sadness, but, it's always that unknown of leaving behind something in order to head into something else. There is this kind of sense of, what am I doing, or am I doing the right thing? But he knows that, where he's heading, it is going to bring him greater fulfillment. And so he's heading towards that. And with it being followed by the Chariot card, this is a card of great victory, right? The Chariot it's all about forward momentum. This is a card of great success. This is forward movement. And it's all about, again, you being in control, right? You see that the man here, he's controlling the opposing energies of the light and dark animals, right, on the card. And he's doing so, in a very sort of sure manner, right? He's very sure-footed, he's sure of where he's headed now. He's in control of his destiny, really, where he's going. And it's interesting because the Chariot card, besides being a card of victory, it's a card of great change, and it's a card of, like, you've been successful in passing through, whatever these trials and tribulations and setbacks and obstacles, whatever you've had to go up against. This is you now, coming out ahead, coming out victorious. So there's a lot of self-confidence. There's a lot of success in achievements, but this is also a card that speaks of turning ideas into action, and forward momentum. And forward momentum through choice as well. And going back here to this choice to walk away. So, if you did, and since this is cups, this could be, a relationship dealing with the Suit of Cups, water energy. It has to do with our relationships, our feelings, our emotions, and then how our feelings and emotions influence our behavior, influence our relationships. It's also associated with the water signs, so Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. And actually the Chariot card is also associated with the sign of Cancer. So there could be Either, an Aries, Cancer could possibly be important over the weekend. But it's very positive, right? This is about sort of forward movement, turning your ideas into action, and then through some type of decision, great change coming in. And with the Queen of Swords as the overall energy, this is the perfect energy. If this is not a person coming in to help you, if this is you taking on the energy of the Queen of Swords, this is great energy to, take control of the situation, because the Queen of Swords or the suit of Swords, it has to do with our thoughts. It's the suit of the mind. It has to do with our intellect. It's where we come up with our ideas. And the Queen of Swords, she can be a person, right? When we have court cards appearing in a reading, she can be somebody coming in to possibly help you with a situation or a decision. If so, typically she would be an older air sign, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But again, it doesn't have to be, right? This could just be you taking on the energy. And I do feel that this is more, the energy surrounding you, as opposed to, maybe here's, or especially with the Emperor who you might be dealing with, but then, with the Chariot and then this Queen of Swords, it's all about you taking matters into your own hands. So, the Queen of Swords is very good at coming up with ideas. She's very good at getting her thoughts across. And especially if you are, looking to move away, if you are, embarking upon something different or leaving something behind, maybe this Queen of Swords comes into, she's good at cutting through the confusion, right? Cutting through you see all the clouds that she's sitting on. So she comes into, to really cut through the confusion, to help you see things clearly. She has the sword of truth in her hands. And she's very honest. She's a very straightforward, straight talking. She's good at giving advice. We also have butterflies flying around her sword, and butterflies, they symbolize transformation. Can be a transformation more to do with sort of a way of thinking, so changing, transforming your way of thinking. And we did have, back here, going back to the Chariot, and then this change and forward momentum. So there could be, it could be from seeing things from a different perspective. You might gain a new perspective on something this weekend that, finally allows you to see things for what they truly are, make this move, right? Make the decision, and then embark upon a new path. The Queen of Swords, it's interesting because in this deck, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but she's holding a mask in her hand. So she has, this sword of truth in one hand, and she has the mask in another. So, obviously with the mask, we can think of, people wearing masks and people being insincere with us, right? And so by removing or carrying the mask, she's able to, cut away or reveal either if somebody is being untruthful, she's able to, reveal that. And then as far as the situation goes, I'm getting that she's able to uncover and reveal the real truth about a situation. So there's something to do with revealing, cutting through, the sword of truth here, and that brings about a change in thinking. And this could have to do with, if it isn't to do with this, with the person, I'm going back to the Emperor card, because if this, I'm picking up a couple of different things with the Emperor. If this is, a court case, if this does have to do with the father of your children, there could be, things could come to light. There could be something coming, you uncover something, or even in the court, like something is brought to light. It could be a lawyer that steps in to help you with this. For other people, I think that, this is you taking on the energy of the Emperor and finally saying, okay, this is where I want to go with my life, then you do make a decision here. There's a shift in your way of thinking. Possibly before you weren't open to, this new opportunity, but now there's been, there's a change for whatever reason. You're seeing the situation for what it really is. and you're heading towards it now. And it's like, okay, I'm in the driver's seat and I know exactly what I want, and with both of these cards sitting on either sides of this walking away is I see very much, you being in control, you speaking your own truth and cutting through any type of, confusion or lies, and then you moving forward. And this is all about, it's you in control. So it's a very powerful reading, I think. Let's see how this Meadow card fits in. Let me find my guidebook. Hold on one second. I like to read the full meaning for the although I actually only read sort of half of it, because the way that this guidebook is set up, it gives you a long description about sort of Meadow in general, and then it gives you more, after that about the actual meaning for the card. So I really focus more on the meaning. So we look at the card again. We have Meadow. We have this beautiful scene of, of the meadow with all these beautiful flowers. It looks very, very peaceful, right? But the name of the card is Vulnerability. And it says, you're in a place right now where you can take risks with your feelings, and even more important, take risks with the truth of who you are, the truth you know in your heart and soul. You no longer need to be subjected to your conditioned fears of letting others know who you really are. Yes, others may judge, evaluate, criticize, and perhaps even put you down. These are very real possibilities. Yet by trusting that you have the strength to deal with these reactions rather than responding adaptively and always playing it safe, you can more confidently allow yourself to be vulnerable. Always holding back from expressing your truth can create an illusion of safety. But armed with your trust and your faith, you can choose to be vulnerable and share your authentic self with the world. That's so interesting. I don't think I've pulled this Meadow card before, but that is exactly, right, what I was saying about the Queen of Swords card, about expressing your truth as she's holding the sword of truth. So it's all about self-expression and being able to be your true self, right? Removing that mask. There is no need to wear the mask. So it's a very empowering type of message coming through, I think. So I do hope that the messages have helped you. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.